Hi, it's Laura, and I'm a reseller on eBay. I've been selling on eBay for a little over a year, and I've sold about 1,000 items. Some of it's gone really well, and some of it honestly just hasn't. But I did discover a niche, a category of items that most people are not looking for at the thrift store. They sell for a profitable amount of money. You can buy them for a low cost, and they're easy to find. Let's take a look and see what we've got. Honestly, can't remember how it started, how I ended up with that first duvet cover and shams. The only thing I do remember is I listed them and they sold within a week for $85. It was a brand name, and I thought, well, this is easy. Let me experiment with other linens. After a year, I've really sorted out what sells well, what sells easily, and what you can pick up for a low cost that's going to make it profitable. So let me show you 7 categories of linens that you should be looking for and you will find at your thrift store because nobody else is looking for these. All right, let's start with the quilted items. Now, when I say quilted items, I mean, of course, the bed quilts. I don't have a lot of those to show you because I only have 1 or 2 left. In the past couple of weeks, somehow I sold 3 quilts, which you would think in the summertime that would be a tougher sell. But as it turns out, it's not. People are looking for quilts year round. So this one obviously is going to do well all the time. This is a hand-stitched quilt. This is only a twin size. Ideally, this would have been the queen that it was marked, but I still have this listed for $85, and because it's handmade, I'm hoping that I will be able to flip it for at least $70. Now, normally I wouldn't pay this much, but it was marked a queen. I did pay $30 for the item. Most of the quilts I'm able to purchase for $8, $12, $10, $15. So that was unfortunate, but if you can find one that's handmade and vintage, that's definitely a leg up. These other 2 quilted items are not bed items. This is a tablecloth, and I think it's fabulous. It's patchwork. It's by a company called Handprints, which I wasn't familiar with, but it's an Indian cotton. And this kind of quilting is particularly popular, patchwork quilts. So that's true with the bedding and it's true with other things. I have this listed for $49. It does have quite a bit of fade over in this area, so I might drop my price to $4. But you should be able to pick up tablecloths anywhere from $3 to $6. I definitely wouldn't pay any more than that because tablecloths don't tend to sell for a lot of money. This one would be exceptional just because it's a patchwork quilt. Then right below it, I have another quilted item, and this is going to be something you should be able to pick up for $1 to $3. This is a reversible table runner, and it's handmade, quilted on both sides. And the only reason I picked this one up is because of this pattern. This has got that country floral, cottage, shabby chic kind of vibe going it. And that's what's really popular now. So this is not going to bring a lot of money, but it was easy to wash. It took 5 minutes to list, and it'll probably sell for, I don't know, $20, maybe $22, $25. So it was a no-brainer just because of how easy that one was. All right, the next category is embroidered or needlepoint pillows. And in particular, and actually I would pick up just about any needlepoint pillow that's in good condition. These happen to be Christmas because almost all my other needlepoint pillows sold. I haven't even listed these yet. Pillows in our area and in most areas you can pick up very cheaply. And just so you can see I'm telling the truth, this one I picked up for $1.50. This big one I picked up for $2, and this other one, I don't remember exactly, but it would have been $3 or less. Now, all 3 of these are vintage, and one of the ways I can tell is by the type of fabric, and also sometimes there's a tag inside, but often you can just tell from the age, and we'll talk more about that in another video, how to determine how old some of these linens are. But they're all also wool, and that's really easy. I can feel that it's wool or a wool blend. This one, I believe, is the oldest. I'm guessing probably mid-century, 1950s, 60s, 70s. And this one doesn't have a zipper because often the inside of the pillow is a big clue. But they're all hand embroidered, and I'm going to show you how you can tell when something's hand embroidered. Okay, if it's possible, you want to be able to open up the pillow. And this one has a quality zipper, so that's a good head start. I can see there's little threads and hairs all over this, so it'll need a bit of a cleaning. See that YKK? So that's good. The pillow insert itself is not older. It's a new one made in China. And often if I find pillows that have like a down or a high quality insert and they're only $1, I will buy the pillows and keep the inserts to use later. But inside, in the back, you can see all kinds of knots and ties, and that's done by hand. So that's how I know this is a hand-done pillow. It's a high-quality pillow, I can tell. And these embroidered pillows, the new, less expensive kind, not quality, will sell for in the low 20s. But some of these very old pillows, I've seen some that sell for $225. Most of these here will sell between, I'm going to say, $30 and $40. So not huge profit on there, but definitely a good rate of return, $1 into $40 or $1 into $30. So I'm definitely not going to complain about that. This is a category I myself would like to do better in. I didn't really pay attention to this, just randomly sometimes I would find these items and I would pick them up, but I started looking more carefully because the rate of return on this is outstanding, about 1,000%. That is fabric. Vintage, American made, Italian made, or other, quality countries. If you can find that, people are willing to pay a good price for it. I usually pay about $1 a yard. So this one is 4 yards. It's an American chintz fabric, and I've got it listed for $44. This one is a name you definitely want to remember, P. Kaufman. And how I discovered that, if you look along the side here, it will tell you often who makes the fabric. And I don't know if it's jacquard or damask fabric, but anyway, this I got for $9.75 because it's almost 10 yards, and I have this listed for $115. I have sold other fabric this year for over $100. Almost every fabric I've listed has sold very quickly, but I don't really buy it unless I'm able to identify or use Google Lens to figure out who manufactured it, because I think that's a little bit tricky. Unless it's something like Raggedy Ann or Mickey Mouse, a vintage one of those, then I don't know that it matters as much. So fabric, you want to keep your eye out for American made vintage quality fabric, and you're going to be surprised. It's not impossible to find. Okay, your next category, flower power. It's an easy thing to remember. If you think about that 1960s groovy, those are really the ideal sheets. And if you can find a king size set like that, you could sell it for probably $80 if you have one of those 1960 groovies ones. These are 1960s, and this is kind of interesting, this pattern. It's got, I guess, a lotus, but then it also has some kind of bird on it. And of course, I don't have it up into where there's a bird, but this one I have listed for $30. I do think that this will sell pretty easily, and I'll hold out for a little while if I need to. It's got a scalloped edge. It's embroidered. It's definitely got those flower power flowers on there. And I think this one is a West Point Stevens. This one is not quite like your groovy flower power, but it's definitely that 1960s, maybe 1970s, but I think this is a 1960s, and I don't remember who the manufacturer was. But this one will sell because it's got that kind of country cottage vibe again, and that's just really in style right now. This other one actually just sold today. This is a different kind of flower power, not so poppin'. This was a full-size sheet, and it's Utica. That's what it is, Utica Stevens. And this one sold for $22.50. I only paid $2 for these sheets. So, although again, $22 is not a huge profit, but if you take $2 and you have an easy time just listing these, especially since they don't tend to wrinkle, if you can find these old style ones that were polyester cotton blend, and nobody at the store is buying them. So keep your eye out for Flower Power 1950s, 60s, and 70s, and those will do really well for you. Okay, if you watched any of those sitcoms that were based in the 70s and 80s, we all had these fabulous crochet throws on the back of our couches. A lot of people use these for beds. Now, I'm picking up a bunch of them now, even though it's the middle of the summer, because before you know it, it will be fall. Once it gets to be fall, the thrift stores are going to raise their prices on these. And instead of paying $3, $4, $5, $6 is the most I'll pay for one, they're going to be $10, $15, $20. So this one is a bed size. I haven't sold one with a chevron pattern before, but I got it because I thought, well, this is a great fall choice. And also, it was super clean and large. And I really like this this edging right here, that border. So although I've never been a fan of crochet, I really appreciate the quality and the hard work that goes into making these. This one is very popular right now, the style of granny squares. A lot of them are black. I don't buy any black linens because it's just too hard to get all the lint off to me. But this one, I did pay $6.50, which is more than I usually pay. But again, this is going to be a popular item come fall, and I don't think I'll have any difficulty selling it. Now, one of the things you're going to want to be careful of is it's not true with every single crochet item, but a lot of them. This is a baby blanket. Now, normally I won't pick up crochet baby blankets, but I picked up this one because this one, somebody hand did all these animals in it. It's so sweet. It really is. And something like this will sell well. I only listed this one, I think, for 20 or 25. But there are some baby blankets where somebody did Winnie the Pooh themes and things like that who have sold them for quite a bit of money. Here's another crochet one, and this is just a lap throw. So this is only going to bring maybe about $20, $22. But again, it was just so easy. It was clean. I did wash it. I don't always have to wash these. It depends. I can tell if they've been cleaned or not. And they're easy to ship off. They're lightweight, so I don't mind making a little bit less money if it's just easy to do. So anyway, so keep your eye out for handmade crochet vintage items. They're going to sell, and I think they're still going to be popular this year. Okay, the next category is going to be duvet covers, and I definitely recommend these, especially if your storage is tight, because although I love selling quilts, and I definitely love selling comforters, I definitely have a hard time storing comforters. They're just bulky, they're big, and they are a little bit more challenging to ship. Duvet covers just fold up beautifully. This is that Calvin Klein one from the haul with the broken buttons. And that one, oh, this is from my death pile, that's right. And this one I did get listed. I listed it for $80, even though it has broken buttons, because this acacia pattern is very popular. This one down here is a Pottery Barn pattern. And I think this one's going to do really well, probably in the winter with that red and that green. And then this one over here is Restoration Hardware. And I'm going to try to show you quickly how you can figure out who makes the duvet cover. Because if you don't know where to look, you could spend a lot of time trying to find it. So let me grab the tag and show you. All right, here's how you figure out who manufactured the duvet cover. You've got to find the top, and of course that's going to be the side with the buttons. And then you have to find the corners, which I kind of cheated and already did because otherwise this would take a few minutes. And then you dig deep into the corner. You got a left corner and a right corner. And I always somehow pick the wrong corner to start with. But inside the duvet cover, in that corner is going to be a tag. And as you can see, this was made by Restoration Hardware. It was made in Italy. Now, this I think I have listed for $80. This is a queen. I did sell a Restoration Hardware complete linen set this year for $165. So there is good money in those duvet covers. And I think I forgot to tell you on these granny square blankets, or some of these better, more desirable crochet blankets, those can sell anywhere from $30 to well over $100. I saw a couple selling for a couple of $100, and I couldn't figure out why. So I don't know if that's inflated. Also on that fabric, I said quality countries. I meant to say quality fabric countries, meaning there are some countries like Turkey, Italy, Pakistan, India, Israel that are known for producing high quality fabrics. So that's what you want to keep an eye out for there. Hope that makes sense. All right, the last category. This is a little bit of a catch-all, kind of lumping a few things together in my mind, but I'm going to call this your retro Priscilla cottagecore shabby chic group. And anything right now, and this is true with tablecloths, it's true with curtains, and it's true with bedding. Anything that has this ruffly lace kind of trim and border to it, highly floral. This one has got your combination of the patchwork style and that lacy ruffle at the edge. This is JCPenney. This is a pillow sham that goes with the quilt. It's only a twin, and again, ideally you want to find at least a full size. This one I have listed for $49, and I'm going to guess it's probably going to sell closer to $40. I already sold off the curtains. I already sold off the tablecloth, and I picked this whole set up with the curtains and the tablecloth for $5, because I'm sure people at the thrift store thought nobody's going to want this. Okay, I paid $4 or $6 for these curtains. They're beautiful condition. And these I have listed for $40 or $44. And then here are some more curtains. And these are West Point Stevens. See that lace right there with the floral? Just beautiful for somebody who's into that style. They're in great condition. And then here's another set. I can't remember who made these, maybe Crowsill. These are 3 valances, and I have these listed for about $40. So this is another category that just turns over really quickly. And everything I pick up in this category, really the most I'll spend is probably $6 or $8 if they're great curtains. And on something for bedding, if it's a twin, I try to keep it at $10. If it's queen, I will pay up to $15 or $20, and king about $20 also. So if you can memorize these, which it's not hard to do, you got quilts, embroidered pillows, you got flower power sheets and bed sets, you got United States of America fabric, you got crochet blankets, you have duvet covers, and you have shabby chic, you're going to be ahead of most people in the thrift store because they're not checking this out. So I want you to go out there and try it. It's going to be easier than you think, really. Okay, you can tell I'm very passionate about these linens. I don't know how all this started, but I'm sure glad it did. And I just wanted to say it was fun doing this with you. I appreciate you watching, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Bye.